We are now live at AIC, folks. As we're gonna look very briefly, get the stream set up. It's gonna be a bit awkward. I do apologize. Okay, things are set up, and we just gotta set things over into the race announcements. Got the stream set up. As AIC is one of the more interesting tracks featured in the SLC schedule. We're gonna go right ahead with the layout. As today's layout actually features a few different variations from your normal Rox Mods track, or AIC in general. As you have your usual turn 1, but something's quickly, you notice there's cones. Rather than taking this route, we are taking the shortened layout, which goes through the chicane. Very technical corner, and something that has proven to be very difficult with the drivers. Some complaints about the corner cuts. So henceforth, because of that, things have been reviewed, and there will be some changes to the cut limits, and probably for the next race it will be changed. You might also notice a couple changes to the track itself, featuring a change on the curb through the far part of the circuit, now cutting in itself a little bit. And actually I've noticed a technique where you cut your tires into the track and out, as there's little cacti around the track, other little features to make it a lot more interactive towards a real thing. This whole section here generally remains the same as you go through a few high-speed sweepers, as there has been some small issues to notice through here as far as the car is getting loose. That might be interesting as the race plays on. You then have the chicane, which has a cut on the asphalt, has been labeled by the cones, as you can see. Not on the entrance, though. We'll have to see what lines drivers end up taking, whether they decide to follow the uniform rule of staying outside, or if they try to play it risky, going as tight to the inside as they can. As once again, the final turn has also featured another slight change. The curb has not been in where it has been usually. It's been a little bit shortened, making it a little more technical, and that's what you have for one lap at AIC. Now, being our first international race since we went over to Europe, first race upside down, we're going to see the Chilean anthem play very shortly. Once we get the Chilean anthem out, we are going to start our pacing. Alright, drivers, we are about to start the anthem very shortly. It will be only audible on the stream, unfortunately, but we'll have to see as things go on. There it is, Chilean anthem, hopefully. Drivers, please enter your cars. We are about to get started very shortly. As Shive does need a teleport, I see that. Now, one reason everyone please get into their cars. Speeds are 1. Alright. We're about to get started. We need all drivers into their cars. Okay. This is going to be the last little bit here before we do get going. There's going to be 2 pace laps. Reason there's 2 pace laps is to make sure if there's anything wrong. Because I think, you know, with that being an issue, we'll have to see. There's going to be a 4-lap race. This will be good. Single file pacing, as you guys all know. Go when the driver ahead of you goes. The lights are going to be yellow shortly. Lights are yellow. So you can now see your drivers making their way out of the pit lane. 1 by 1. Please make an effort to not overtake the person ahead of you. Be mild on the tire warming. There's Netta starting from the rear of the field, having a little bit of issues getting going here. She is your national, a Chilean national in particular. This is her home track at Autodromo Internacional de Caldegua. We'll have to see how as things go on. I'm going to try to focus on pacing a little bit through these curves here. It's a short track, but there is a little bit of pacing to be done. There's Netta trying to maybe do something reminiscent of a slingshot action over here, potentially. We make our way over to the chicane. There's going to be 1 more pace lap to go. As there's Netta already with 1 corner cut. That will be fits on the front stretch. There's Netta corner cut. Will be fits on the front stretch. Just stay patient. Once again, reminder, corner cut limit is 65. So you also see Twin Triple V sits taking over Narwhaler 05. He is in a new car. There's a couple new variations here. Speed at turn 1, qualifying P5, ahead of his teammate. Alright, we got 1 pace lap to go. Make it slowly through here. Make sure we don't spin out. So people make it through nice and easy. We're going to go at 60 miles an hour for pace speed. Speed at turn 1. Regroup yourself. We're going to fix the laps as they run through. My apologies about that. I'm just trying to watch you guys. I will be fixing the laps. I want you guys to go 60 miles an hour. Please watch your pacing. Speed at turn 1, I would prefer if you try to catch up a little bit here. Everyone 60 miles an hour. Everyone go down to 60 miles an hour. I'm going to increase my speed. Please go 60 so that I could actually watch the star and make sure there's no jumps. So this is also for the benefit of you. For the benefit of you, excuse me. This driver's now pacing across. We got that in nice and easy. Okay. Watch your pacing. Hold your pace. Green flag. I'm not going to watch for jumps. Don't overtake till you guys are across the line. There's no to give up 1 spot. There's no give up 1 spot. Cleared for the jump. Here, everyone is clear. Lights are now turning green as we make our way over. A lot of drivers already with 1 cut. Watching from Twin V6 being trailed closely behind by his teammate Jen. There's also Shibe in the midst as well as East 951 in this 40-lap race. Arisneta seemingly already making up ground on Jason. It goes a little bit wide. Seemingly having a few minor issues. Shibe 21 slowing down heavily. Going into the chicane. Drops all the way into last place, and he has nearly spun out. As we look over, Speed Hits are 1 in a tail battle with Jason for the time being. Arisneta loose. Arisneta very loose. Saves herself from almost certain death. Moves up to 6th place. Speed Hits are 1 falls behind from Jason. As Arisneta very loose through the chicane. Goodness. So far spread out at the front. It's Arulis 1, 2, and 3. Meanwhile, Shibe make up a little bit of ground on Arisneta through the S's. Same thing between Speed Hits are 1. Speed Hits are 1. Trying to get into the position with Jason here. Arisneta also gets a little bit loose on the exit with Shibe. There's only 7 cars in this field, so it's one of the smaller races we've had, but not a bad one, I'd say. We will have to see how things go as this race does progress. Arisneta left behind Shibe for the time being. Make up a little bit of ground on Speedy at Star 1. And Arisneta, once again, very wide on turn 2. There's East 951. Actually, it almost appears that Jason and Speedy are making up ground on East 951. Jason about to approach side-by-side action with his teammate, making their way down to the back, or making their way to the chicane. Side-by-side, Speedy to the outside, crossing over to the inside. Jason gets the better exit of the two of them, and will hold his 4th place spot. Shibe 21 making his way through the chicane. As it looks like Jason spun out into the wall, and that's a bit of tough luck for Jason. Potentially going to allow Shibe to make his way over back up one spot. As Arisneta making up ground on Speedy XR 1. A little bit loose for her. But Speedy XR 1 so far running the best he has ever ran in his entire career. P4 and potentially making up ground towards P3. If he can stay ahead of Eris. Well, it does look like that might not go for long. Eris a little loose off the sausage curb there. Into the chicane they go. Eris does some later braking than Speed XR 1. Speed XR 1 goes through nice and clean. A little bit tight on the inside, though, there on the exit, as you can see. Arisneta making up a lot of ground side by side for a brief moment, but like Speed XR 1 was not even in the way for Eris. Arisneta already up to P4. Also looking for Shibe. Close to Jason. Jason smacking the wall in the other direction hard. I'm going to watch back from Arisneta. Made up a little bit of ground. Speed XR 1. Speed XR 1 loose off of the hairpin. As it looks like Arisneta is starting to make up ground on East 951 once again. There's East just barely at the end of the chicane. Visually within reach. Going to be a tough battle for Eris, but so far she has performed outstandingly. As East 951 running a little bit slower on the front stretch, it seems, than he was. Seemingly must have had some sort of bad exit. Probably got loose. Arisneta gets loose, but saves it pretty decently there. And there's East 951 making its way out of the hairpin. Arisneta following suit. As we're 5 out of 40, we are 1/8 through the race as far as those laps will be going. And it looks like pretty soon we might even see a lap car. There's Twin Turbo V6 making up ground on Jason. Jason having a bit of a difficult race so far, although caution could benefit him. As Twin Turbo V6 makes over on Jason. 9 seconds ahead of his teammate, Jen. As Arisneta approaching East 951, only a second between the two, about a second and a half. But closing in very quickly. So we're going to once again look at the cuts. Arisneta is a little bit ahead on cuts. That could play into something later on in the race. Doesn't matter now, though. As she is making up ground on East 951, approaching side-by-side action into the chicane. Will she try to throw a dive bomb? Yes, she does. Throws a way inside, but East 951 just with a better exit. East 951 is going to hold her off for the time being, although she tries to peek up towards his inside. Does manage to get by for the time being, although that's a little bit of a bumpy exit. We'll have to see if East 951 is going to try to challenge that third place back. There's Netta will extend her gap by a little bit through the chicane. That was just nice and beautifully for her. A little tricky off that hairpin. This layout is so short that I mean, I wouldn't say it's actually that short compared to what we normally race at, but it is a very short layout compared to what I'm used to here at AIC. But I will say, it was good. Oh my goodness, both of them spin! East 951! There's not a spin out! They both are side by side, making their way through to the last turn. What an unexpected result there. There's another loose again, but she will keep her car under control. And that was a big moment for the both of them. They've lost their gap, although Jen, you can see, moving up 3 seconds closer to Twin Turbo V6. That got my energy back. And the gap between the two, though, hasn't gone much further. I believe Twin Turbo V6 must have gotten loose at some point. You can even see Jason actually only a little bit behind. So, he's been holding up pretty well for himself so far. Here's Netta making her way through the chicane. East 951 not far behind. Maybe he'll try to make up ground. What about Jen, though? Jen about the same gap. We're going to look at the time. So far for the times, there's Netta currently P2. Although, Twin Turbo V6 has also been struggling a little bit. He is still the quickest lap. He has been running a little bit better than Jen this time around. So I believe that might be Shive 21 about to be overlapped by Twin Turbo V6. Gets loose off chicane. Keeps his car under control, though. As there's Jason right behind, but still Shive ahead of Jason. Not quite last place yet. And East 951. I thought he was going slower for a second. Must just been my head. Shive 21 is backwards through the front stretch. That is a bit of an interesting moment, I've had to say, but he does keep his car under control, keeps on rolling. Currently, by the way, we are 1/4 through the race, drivers. That's a little bit of a drift for Shive, and he's loose again. A lot of the things that happens to these guys, especially Shive in particular, has a few issues in the race and then struggles. Just doesn't get that energy. It's a bit of a slow exit there out of the second turn there. East 951, that move will be reviewed. I don't know what you did there, but that did look kind of sus. I'm going to watch this one really quickly. East 951, you are given a 5-second time penalty for a serious cut. Don't do that again. For those wondering what this cut was in question, we will go right to our display. Watch here. The track, as you see, I'm gonna increase it a little bit. There's Shive 21 getting loose. The track, as you can see, goes through here. You're supposed to turn here. East 951, instead it goes straight through there. That is why we got our penalty for East 951. East 951, taking it easy. Okay. Yellow flag, race back. As we come back to Arizona having a flip. I think we just got strolled. That is absolutely painful for the Chilean national. Fortunately for her, she has another lap through. As it's a yellow flag, guys. We're going to go without pace car this lap, but everyone please start pacing. Twin Turbo V6. Speed at R1, you two. Actually, speed at R1, you can continue going. Yellow flag is out. Everyone gets their lap back. But boy, is this one of the more painful situations. Order will be Twin Turbo V6, Jen, East 951, Speed Hits R1, Jason, and Shive. Please do not cruise. Well, actually, you guys are... Yeah. Ignore me. Keep on going, guys. Keep on going. Keep on driving. That was actually bad timing by me. Yeah, look at that. That's... I'm not sure what caused that flip. We'd have to see what happened after this race is over. If there's any recording. Alright. Jason, Jason, fall back. Let them overtake you so we could, get going sooner. So, order is Twin Turbo V6, Jen, East 951, Speed Hits R1, Jason, and Shive. Everyone, please start pacing. I'm going to start going. Apologize for that slightly long delay between caution called or not. Speed Hits R1, go to 4th place. Everyone merge. Shive 21 to last place, please. Thank you. Laps will be fixed once we can reach a stable point. Eris, could you do me a favor and remove your car? It's absolutely unfortunate for you, though. I will have to admit. If you don't, then I will actually. I understand. Completely painful for Eris Netta. Let's get this timed right. Order's looking good. You guys maintain 60 miles an hour. I'm going to increase my pace so we could get going. Okay, hold pace, drivers. Hold pace. Green flag. Watch for jumps. Jumps are being watched, so we speak, as everyone has been cleared of jumps. Jen making a move side by side with Twin Turbo V6, trying to make up his loss from earlier, trying to get his first win, and he has got the move made for the moment, though Twin Turbo trying to fight back, still side by side between the two rudderless drivers. As they make the way through the S's, Twin with a bit of a peek gets loose, recovers, Jen back up to the front, although it looks like a good run for Twin Turbo V6. I'm going to kill Eris there. Twin Turbo V6 still trying to make up ground side by side. Now gets ahead for the moment as they make the way around the final turn. Will Jen have a good looking exit? It looks like Twin with a slightly better exit than Jen. Although it still looks good between them side by side, potentially. No, not quite. Well, it's narrowing it as Jen gets a little loose. Twin gets looser. He spins out. So does Jen. And there's East 951 making up ground on Twin. Makes its way by Twin Turbo V6. Jen is up next. East 951 to second, and only for a moment. Twin now side by side makes his way through as Shive has gone by from Jason and Speed XR1 from last place. Jason apparently makes up the move. Teleport airs as E951 spins himself out. There's going to be Jason and Shibe. Now the match between the two of them. Before the lead, Twin gets it back. Great move by Twin. We're going to close our windows so we don't become an interruption towards our neighbors. And that's a dive bomb for Jen. Tries to get something done, but couldn't quite get it done. End up with nothing, although it's still looking close for him. There's a good battle between East 951 and Shibe. East has fallen back to 5th place there. There's Shibe ahead of Jason running in the 3rd place spot. Meanwhile, for the front, it's a little drift from Twin Triple V6. That's going to allow potentially something for Jed to do something. We'll have to see. Jed gets loose, runs up to the curb, and he bikes a little bit there. How's it looking for Jen? Sorry, how's it looking for Jason? Shibe now making side-by-side action. Gets by. Shibe now into the podium spot. Great job on the DGS driver making that move. Although it doesn't look like it's quite over. Gonna have to make sure things aren't going haywire yet. And Jason making up a little bit of ground through the S's for the moment, though. Looks like Shibe with a great looking line. Must applaud my fellow GGS driver getting back into the podium after falling behind as much as he did. That was a lot of trouble. But he's already back into the podium, so good job for him. Twin Turbo V6 increases his gap. So we look back at Jason and Shive. Shive increases his gap by about 2 seconds as well. Looking over again at East 951. East 951 makes his way over. Next time by will be the halfway point of the race. And Speed Racer 1 finally making his way down the back or down the front stretch. And there is your gap separating all the drivers. As Jen seemingly got a little bit loose there. Kept his car under control, though that's a bit of a moment of bad luck for him. It did allow Shive to catch up a little bit of time there. Not quite within reach, but definitely didn't hurt. So that definitely helped quite a bit, I'd say. Twin Turbo V6, by the way, if you haven't noticed, he's driving Novelure 5's car, currently in a rootless car, so that means we've seen another team switch. Currently, no Wolf Team Racing drivers that are active on the Rox Mods series. And surely there are open drivers that might be interested in finding a spot in Wolf Team Racing. You know where to look. It looks like Shive is making up a little bit of ground. We'll have to see how this lap actually progresses. And there's a car revving. Yep. Okay. I'm not laughing over that one. I'm laughing over the surprise. That was a surprise laugh. But it appears that Jen made some sort of error. Shive is now over into 2nd place. The guy has just gone from 0 to hero at this point. And that's got to be a frustrating mistake for Jen. Seemingly having some issues with the car control. We're going to look over at the cuts, make sure where there's a 65 cut limit. You don't want to reach that point. We're over halfway through the race. I might as well trail the drivers. As Jen, loose again. We're over halfway done with the race. Got 17 laps to go. Or actually, 18 laps to go. My correction, I apologize. Things so far single filed themselves out at the time. And it looks like East 951 has made his way by from Jason at some point. My apologies for missing this battle. And Will hops it. I hope we don't miss any important action. We'll go to that one soon if nothing happens between the two of them. Well, was that something I just saw there? Shive 21 nearly spins to keep it under control. Not so lucky for Jason, although he still kept it decently under control. That was Jason being overlapped. Or overtaken, excuse me. I want to look back at that wheel hop for a second there. I did miss some action there. Whoops. Thankfully, did not catch it on the camera. I gotta look back at that. I believe Shive did something, got loose, and Jen got by. I was gonna look over that wheel hop that East 951 had, but a little switch of position. So I think it's safe to say I should probably stay focused on the current action at hand. But it doesn't seem like much is going on. Easily something could change. As East 951 once again does not bounce his wheel. Seems to learn his lesson. That's a bit of a clincher, though, making his way out of the final turn. So those are those times of the race when you just kind of sit back, just watch things as they go, and you know, something might happen. Let's see. Very fortunate thing that this is the lesser of the two AIC races. We will actually be going here later this year in November. So that's something to rather look up for. And it looks like Twin Turbo V6's about to overlap Jason. And just like butter, he's through. Shive 21 is somewhere on the track. If he can keep his car under control and not spin out, he will be able to at least keep a podium, which is something to look forwards to. And there is Shive 20, or actually that's Twin Turbo V6 now overtaking East 951. So now East 951 one lap down. Twin Turbo V6 has been on a mission today. Currently holds the lap record at AIC for this layout, I believe, at the time being, unless something else has been, unless something else has come up. We'll have to see though. Now I'm gonna look back and see that little hop that. And it's another loose moment for Shive 21. You do not want to be getting too many of those. You really don't help. Just gonna look at this moment here again to go into 25%. And I'm praying that we don't see another flip or something while I watch this. But just look at how loose, and how, that's not even two wheeling, that's one wheeling. All three tires in the air except for one on the right rear. Just that's incredible. All right, back to our action. And you can see Twin Turbo V6 starting to hunker down a little bit on Shive 21. And still a good gap between him. And that's a hard crash for Speedy at Sir 1. But it's not enough to call a yellow for. He'll keep on driving. Things are rather calm this time of day. It would be nice to have a sponsor. Fortunately, we don't have those. Not in SLC. Although, if you are worried about a sponsor, we do actually have something coming up for track loans. As you see, Speedator 1 being overlapped by East 951. Now only their top 3 is spared from being overlapped. As Twin Turbo V sits a little bit loose, but it's not going to change much for him. He's still got this car under control. He's still going forwards. There's a DGS machine of Shibe 21 on the other side of the turn. As he's narrowing down very closely. 10 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6, by the way, and all else behind. We'll have to see if Twin Turbo V6 is going to try to overlap the entire field. He has done this once before at Guillaume Motorsports Park last year in the first gen Rox Mods. This is Gen 2, which has seen some various changes throughout the season, whereas Season 1's Rox Mods stayed relatively unchanged. But he actually managed to overlap virtually everyone in a 7-car field, just like this one. I'm curious to see if the same thing could happen again. And this was with a caution, too. That one was without any cautions, and this wasn't exactly an early caution either. This is 14 laps into the race. They went going again at 15 laps. And there's Shibe 21. You can now see him within the frame, so he's within at least 2 seconds of Twin Turbo V6. Inching up closer and closer to that R32 DGS machine. Out of the final turn, we see ourselves with 8 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6. Still not overlapped Shibe 21, but we'll probably see that very soon. Shibe 21 approaching side by side forward just a bit. Twin Turbo V6 now about overlapped Shibe 21. Shibe trying to do what he can, just can't keep up. Twin Turbo V6 has the most car control on the road courses. So, personally speaking, that was my pick, other than Arisnetta. She was running very well, but unfortunately for her, had some sort of flip. Saw one of those earlier today. I believe that was like a spin for Shibe. As Jan finds himself about 10 seconds from being overlapped, I'd say. So that's a good little bit. They're shutting out the hairpin. About to overlap Jason. Now only Jen, the final car that wasn't 1 lap down. That would be honestly quite a bit of a feat. Especially at this point, we're coming into 6 laps to go. Next time by will be 5. And there's Speedator 1, seemingly backwards. Yeah, manages to get himself back rolling. Seemingly having some issues with car control this weekend. This track is a lot bumpier than most of our tracks. It uses the normal Roblox physics for asphalt, or concrete actually. What the... well, their speed hits are 1 with one of the more interesting crashes I've ever seen. 5 laps to go for twin turbo V6, by the way. This cuts down that gap by quite a margin. We'll watch this one. Looking back on speed hits are 1's crash. Just weaves to the left, bounces up, weaves to the right, smacks the wall, spins himself out in front of Shive 21. I gotta say that's one of the more interesting crashes I've seen out here in the Rox Mods. As Twin Turbo V6 closing in the gap on Jen. You can see Jen on the other straightaway. Bounces off the curb. Did he spin out? No, he is not. But there's Twin Turbo V6. He's about to lap the entire field. And in an incredible fashion, this will be his most dominant performance I think he's ever done in the Rox Mods. You don't need to really refuel, so strategy isn't a big thing. It's more so just a pure ability to drive. You can see Jason also in the midst. 1 lap down from Jen. Their speed hits are 1. Once again going wide. And once again running down the inside. What the? Alright. What some interesting lines taken by speed hits are 1. We'll have to see as things go on. Jason about to be overlapped again. There's 3 laps to go. Rolling into 2. Twin just about losing his car. He's on the limits of grip, trying to get up to Jen to overlap him. And if he could finish overlapping him, he would have the most dominant performance ever. Although he runs up into the wall, nearly hits it, keeps on rolling. There's 2 laps to go for Twin Turbo V6. Almost got to his most dominant performance I think I've ever seen. But just last moment, with 2 laps to go, nearly hit the wall. The speed hits are 1. We'll get a penalty for that, although he's basically in last place. There is no reason to enforce a penalty. That's about overkill. He's valid for East 951, though. He's only nope. Speed hits are 1. Currently on soap at the time being. As Twin Turbo V6 made his way over to the white flag. White flag in the air for Twin Turbo V6. Okay, drivers, this is your final lap. Once you guys cross the line, unless you're Shive or Jason, then you guys are on your final lap too. Twin Turbo V6 not quite within reach of Jen. You can see Jen there. Although Jen gets into a interesting situation. His car's very loose. He's trying not to get overlapped as much as he can. It is probably going to do the job. There's Twin Turbo V6 one more time around the chicane. We'll see you guys tomorrow. By chance on my birthday, October 15th. It's either going to be an up or a down day. We'll have to see. I'm personally predicting it's going to be a down day. Meanwhile, at the front, Twin Turbo V6 with another dominant race finish wins the race. Once you guys cross the line, you guys are done. Shive in the podium as Jason is in 5th place. East 951 going to have a 5-second penalty. Won't affect him, though. Gets another solid P4. Great job by Shive21 keeping his car under control all the way from what he thought was going to be a horrible race. Ended up being quite decent, actually, if you look as it goes. That's a solid P3. Meanwhile, Jen making his way around the final curve. Making his way down the front stretch. Here he goes, Jen in P number 2. Jen makes P2, as you could have you guys do a cool down lap, please, and head into the pit lane. Don't cross the line. Speed hits are 1 now through the field. You guys can now make your way into the pit lane. Make sure not to cross the line. We're done with the race. Shy, your penalty won't affect you anyways. You've already you're over 10 seconds ahead of, so, and all right, everyone to the pits. Everyone to the pits. Pit lane. Pit lane. Pit lane. Stop before the line so we can make sure we get the lap times. Twin Triple V sits with the lap record. We do a little quick podium. Not quite the podium I was expecting, although I'm glad to see another DGS driver on the podium. East951, please make your way into the pit lane. Everyone, the pit lane. Once this is all done, don't cross the line. Thank you. All right, you guys see the order. I need Twin Turbo V sits to line his car up over here. Jen to line his car up over here. This is a 1-2 for the Canadians, and a American in the third spot. Would have been nice to see a Chilean in it, but we do have another chance tomorrow. Jen, that's the wrong spot. Just gonna do some American parking, I guess. Here's the tires that should be good. Okay. We have NAR, Waller 05 there. We got your field. Take a picture as soon as everything clears out. Okay, your podium has been photographed. Twin Turbo V6, do you want an interview? Yes or no? Alright, that's an interview. Very dominant finish for Twin Turbo V6. Almost got by everyone. Couldn't quite get it with 2 to go after that. Really nice save, though, but good job on you. Bring me through this one.
Thank you. Just wanted to say I got Gen zoned by the one and only Jen, also known as the Twat, by Nico. I don't know how it happens, but it's just a phenomenon how it happens, and I'm glad I'm a part of that list that got Gen zoned. So I'm super happy about that. You know, I gotta say Canada won too, right? I don't know why people are saying, oh, Canada's not good at race, you know, Stroll sucks. But then you should come to here and see Canada domination.
People have certainly never heard of Jill Villeneuve.
Yeah, but that's not a driver. So that doesn't count because I don't remember Islands being able to drive cars, Robo. But yeah, in all seriousness, good race from everyone. Kind of boring, but
it probably really could have gone interesting if Eris. I don't know what happened with Eris.
Eris kind of died. I would love to know what happened with Eris, though. I literally just saw her car.
Same. Speaking of Lance Stroll, you guys got East 9. She got East 951. I was reviewing a video of East 951. Like a little replay, yeah. And then suddenly I come back to Eris flipped over. I'm like, what the?
Yeah, I don't know how that happens. I think that's an Eris moment.
Well, we'll have to see.
I mean, I flipped over on that exact same corner in practice, so
I
You know,
almost flipped over, so yeah, it's an
but
interesting.
that's because there was someone's scooter there. Maybe it was Joe Biden's scooter that he fell over. Uh, because he fell over on a bicycle because he's dumb and goofy.
I see.
Yeah.
Anyone you'd like to thank? Anything you'd like to do? That's
Um,
not illegal.
I just want to thank all my fans out there for supporting me through these tough times. You know, it's been such a great momentum from all of them, and I want to thank Bono out there for helping me, uh, letting, you know, helping me let my tires not die again, because he gave me the ultra hards this time instead of just the hards. So I'm really glad about that. Um, I just want to say a big thank you to Total Wolf for making sure that Max can actually get disqualified from the 2021 Formula One World Championship season for overspending on his budget of food because he actually gained about 200 pounds. And there's actually a picture of him being about a net weight of about 450 pounds. Uh, because now he resides in America, so he can race at the USGP. And he bought a McDonald's there and ate there, and that was the that broke the cost cap, which is unfortunate for Red Bull. So that kind of sucks for him. So I just want to thank all my fans out there for helping me support this strive on DNFing MAX from the championship. Peace.
I see. Great job on Twin Turbo V6.
This is American Lewis Hamilton.
You're Canadian.
No,
What?
that doesn't make that. No, that's American accent.
No. All right. Jen,
Hello.
you are unmuted.
Oh yes. Thank you. I'm back at it again with my second-rate shipboinery and shenanigans. Gen zoning the whole paddock here. Feel really accomplished to just yoink everyone out the competition, one by one, including myself. I spun out 5 times, crashed twice, almost flipped over at one time, but I had to cut the whole track like a lawnmower. But it's okay. And uh, it's really nice to see that AIC got Canadian dominance once again. Well, not once again. This is the first time 2 Canadians got up the podium. So Canada #1. Um, let's see. I want to thank Nara for winning the race as well because Nara for the past few days have been winning every single race weekend. Especially that last race we had last week. That was crazy. I feel like I've been doing some meme finishes. For example, not yesterday, last week, I kind of spun out at the end. Quite the finish. I think everyone can agree that was a pretty funky finish to get. P2, like always. And let's see. Is there anything else? Robo?
Uh, I yes. No. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out.
Did you hear me? Uh, I
I
did that whole spiel. I think no one heard me.
I am currently zoned out. I am hypnotized by your spinning.
So basically, what happened was I'm just kidding, but I don't know. I felt like I was gonna be unlucky today because tell this wacky story about how I went home from school. I missed 3 buses.
Oh.
I missed the first two, and I tried to
Mm.
go to the bus stop. Before that, I saw the bus. I ran to the bus. No, my backpack bursted open, so I missed another bus. I missed 3 buses, and I was home late, and I felt really horrible. Yeah, I hate my backpack.
I see. Shy. Well, is that all you'd like to say?
Yeah,
All
thank
right.
you,
Th- thank you.
everyone.
Thank you for
Yeah,
coming around.
yeah. You're welcome, everyone. You're welcome.
All right, Shive, do you want an interview? I mean, I gotta say, great for coming from me as a team owner for DGS. Congratulations for that P3. You were really struggling at one point during the race, but man, you came back super hard. You were good. Okay. Next time is an oval race, so we're gonna go to Richmond next week. So I have high hopes for that for some of you guys. I have to see how that one goes, and hopefully we won't have that situation where half the field ditches. But looking up to that one. For all those kids out there that dream the impossible, go eat my. Whoa, 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 whoa. Oh, I see. I think that's gonna do it for the interviews today. We will probably do more next time, but this is a small field.
Robo, just a little question. Did you see when both of us, like both Twin and I, spun out in the first chicane?
I got when you and East, I think, spun out, or somebody like that. Was it?
Really? It wasn't Twin? It was at the first chicane. What lap was that?
I forgot. We'll have to see though. There's a lot of interesting moments this race. I wouldn't say this is like one of the more exciting races for like race results, but
It's the most wackiest race. Everyone died.
yeah, there's definitely a lot of what the fuck moments throughout this race. No, you cannot.
I blame
Well, you
suspension.
can actually, but gay if you do.
I blame the suspension.
Um,
Felt my skeletons trembling.
so I'm gonna finish the stream up. So let's go along with this stuff. It's gonna be just a minute here. All right, folks, that is going to commence it for today's stream. We will be here tomorrow. On my birthday, by chance, as I have said again. Turning 19. Holy crap, this is gonna be nuts. We will be doing the GTI series race. If we do have enough people to run it, of course. If we don't, that's fine. Gonna have a great day tomorrow, regardless. But if you guys care about the Rox Mods series, we will be doing the races next week with an oval race before we do the doubleheader at Track Loans for SNGP. Next week is going to be Richmond. Just one race. Will be very interesting in my personal opinion. So I hope to see you guys there. Will happen at the same time, Friday, 7 p.m. unless something comes up. If you guys want to get into the series, I highly suggest you check out the servers that are in the description. If you do want to race, you can just DM me. But you don't need to DM me particularly if you guys actually want to race. There is a verification server. You look at the partnerships channels for both servers. They are within both servers. If you want to do ovals, the server for that's SLC or Array. If you want to do road courses and other stuff, you would go to the main SLC championship. Although this server or this series runs within both servers, so keep that in mind. I'll see you guys next time, as I try not to be the worst freaking streamer on the planet. I'll see you guys next time.